Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is our first Revit tutorial on how to build walls in Revit 2018. You may be using a different version of Revit. That is okay. Most are very similar, and you should be able to create walls in the same way in whatever version you are using. So the first thing we want to do when we are creating a Revit project is to start with a new project. You will see the new tab right here, right under projects. We want to click that. We want to use an architectural template, and we are creating a new project, not a project template, but a new project. Click OK, and we will wait for this to load. All right, wonderful. Now, this is our first time using Revit, so we will be showing you how to add walls into Revit. One of the simplest tools that you will be using, but one of the most used tools as well as we begin to build more and more structures using this program. All right, the first thing you want to find is this architecture tab. There are multiple tabs in Revit with all the different tools you will need and use. You will most likely not use many of these tools this year, but one that you will use frequently is the wall tool. Okay, so to make a simple wall, you want to make sure that you have your toolbar set up here. There is this button here where you can minimize the buttons in the toolbar. If you click it, it will cycle through different versions of the toolbar. I personally like when all the tools are in front of me. It makes it easier to find what I need. But if you would like, you can switch between the two. Or if you accidentally click between the two, you know how to get back. All right. The first thing we want to do is click wall. Okay. This is going to be just a simple wall. All you have to do is left click and it will start your wall. You can go in any direction you want to go to. I'm just going to go off to the right here and make a wall. I'm going to make another wall down here, another wall here, right there, and a final wall to wrap this up. Okay, now I've made a simple structure showcasing my walls. If I click the modify button up here, it allows me to click on my walls and see the different dimensions of my different walls. And the nice thing with this, I can click on it and change the length of my wall. Now you notice this is in architectural notation or architectural units. So let's say I wanted a 10-foot wall. I just hit 10 foot, type it in and hit enter, and it will switch it to a 10-foot wall. Really straightforward. If I wanted to change one of these longer walls from 96 feet, I can change it to 15 feet or whatever the case may be. Now, I can also zoom in and out using the roller wheel if you're using an external mouse. If you are not using an external mouse, just using the touchpad, you can use the toolbars over here to zoom in and out as well. All right. So there's some basic walls. There are some other ways to make walls as well, though. We just showed you how to make straight line walls. If you click wall, there are also other shapes you can make. If I wanted to make a simple rectangle without having to make each wall separately, I can use the rectangle tool. Click here, and I made a rectangle. If I want to make a different shape, I believe this is a hexagon. It has 6 sides. Make a hexagon. If I wanted a circle, I have a circle. Very simple to use. If I want to actually look at my walls, I can go to 3D view. How I did that was I clicked on the view tab. Then I clicked on 3D view. Now there are different versions of this. I just do the default 3D view. Then you can see the different walls that we created. We had our circle, which now that is 3-dimensional, it is a cylinder. And we have the other ones that we first created. And I'm going to delete this one just so that we can look at the other ones. And to delete, all I'm doing is hitting modify over here and clicking it and then clicking on what I want to delete. I click on it. When it highlights blue, that shows that I selected it. And on your keyboard, you can hit the delete button and it will delete it. But let's say I didn't want to delete it. If I made a mistake and accidentally deleted something, There's a wonderful tool up here on the very top toolbar that's undo. It's called undo. It shows you there's some shortcuts. You could hit Control Z or Alt plus backspace, and that will do the same thing. But if let's say I didn't want to delete that cylinder, I hit undo again, and now it's back. Oh, but let's say I really did mean to delete it. You can redo. Let's say, you know what? I do want to delete that cylinder. Redo, and there you go, it's gone. All right, I'm going to delete everything except for the first structure that I created. And there's also, I can select all of these items at once and delete them all. All right, let's go back to this first structure. And you notice I have this cube over here. That allows me to rotate that structure to see from different viewpoints. Okay, so I'm going to look at it from the top. Actually, I'm going to go to the side. Let's say I wanted to change the height of these walls. If I click on a wall and I look at it, it doesn't really tell me the height of the wall. There's a couple different things I can use to determine. One is I can go over to the left here. There is this properties box, and it has this one box that says unconnected height. That's saying that this wall is not connected to a floor or ceiling, and the height is 20 feet 0 inches. Now I can change that a few ways. I can grab this arrow by clicking with the left mouse button, and I can scroll down. Now the wall is 15 feet to a little under 3 inches. I can move it again, and it changes again. But if I want a precise, accurate height, I can always just click over here and change it. Let's say I wanted a wall that was 9 feet and 7 inches. There you go. Now I have a wall that is 9 feet 7 inches. I can go around and do that to my other walls. And if I wanted to select more than one wall, I can hit the control button, hold that button down while I select my different walls, and I can change them all to 9 feet 7 inches. All of a sudden, I have 4 walls that are all at 9 feet 7 inches. Really straightforward. So that is our wall tool. I just made this simple structure. You can always go and add more walls to the middle of the structure. If you are doing a home with multiple rooms, you can just go in and add walls where you see fit. They don't have to be at 90 degrees to each other. As you can tell, this one I did at about 45 degrees from the other ones. But it is your decision how you want your walls to look and how you design your structure. Hopefully this helps when you are building walls.